Saturday Showdown. T1 versus the Genji Esports.
Pike?
Wait.
I think yes.
Pike. Okay.
So what are we doing? What are we doing with this? Ezreal has a lot of outplay potential. Obviously, can just avoid the Pike pulls, and if any roots come down or stuns come down from Peter, then you do a ton of damage, right? You can obviously outplay a lot of what Jhin can offer with Ezreal in general, but it's still Jhin, okay? He's still going to hit you with a 4-shot. He's going to push those waves with the Pike. They're going to look for aggressive plays constantly. Without a strong pre-6 jungler, though, to follow up, I think they should be fine down there in the bottom lane. My biggest concern is that this comp for KT has basically no engage.
Let's hop onto the Rift in just a moment. Looks like we're ready to go, guys, right now for game 1.
But not when you don't have control of the lane. A Pike pick works a lot better when you are counter-picking it on R5 because of this.
You've got Canyon up here, and there's a Canyon growing between our top laners because Perfect doesn't really get to play the game. Looking for a hook here, as that's going to be the stun down on a Perfect. He's just going to flash it. He says, no, I can't. And he's just desperate for level 6, but he's so far away from it.
Right now, XP is going to give him 6 at least.
Uh-oh, he got hit by that. That is a big problem, as now in a lot of trouble. Perfect just burning. He's just trying to avoid everything. We already have traps set up here, as one more shot could do it, as the grenade will do it, and Ruler will pick up first blood.
Also just not really giving any resources over to help bail him out of that situation either. It means he's just on an island.
Oh, they did not expect this, as Canyon was hiding for so long, and Cuz was nearby, but he avoided the scan in the bush.
Surely he would have gone in by now. True Shot Barrage here, not going to steal any of these grubs away. KT were able to secure the first dragon 2.5 minutes ago, so at least they got that. Perfect was left on that island there on the top side. Speaking of Perfect...
Oh boy, he's piking around.
He's piking around!
He's piking around, he's getting in range, and Perfect does not have his flash available. The stun comes down, the question is, do they have the damage? They do not.
There's just so much gold going to the wayside here in this game.
Oh, piking around, and we got a Wukong around as well, spinning around right on top of them with a shockwave as well. Cuz with the subjugation, still not going to survive. Duro kind of gets that ult off at the very end and gets that bonus gold.
As they are trying to deny one at the same time, speaking of objectives, but there's just not enough KT here. There's too much Genji!
They absolutely cannot. He has to flash away the dragon, but that was not going to happen unless he steals it.
Oh, so very close. Good reaction from Canyon there.
Oh, that was very close. Duckdown would have been in a lot of trouble. As now, trading back here decently. The Tempered Fate does come in, only hits the Pike though. As grenade does go forward, 4th shot into Peter. As Ruler going to open up now, and there's not really much that Peter and his friend can do here. Just going to have to Magical Journey away. Probably smartly does not. As Temper Fate going to come out, but the hook still going to go off for the 4th shot. Gets it done. Peter is dead.
Going back to this play, like they knew Genji were there pushing the blue buff away. Cuz is aware of it. Just a root here, a pull. And Ruler is just happy to take more money.
So many pings up here in the top lane. Tovi has checked 3 of the brushes. Will he check number 4? Yes, he will, but it might not matter as the root comes down. There's 4 people here. Shockwave used. He will flash away, but the pillar saved, and the chomp does come in. Pike also very good at, roaming around, piking around in his case, just like the Bard. So having a big map impact already is Duro.
Yeah, he's really... and then what the feats of strength are. We're still explaining that. Probably by maybe next year we won't do it anymore. Explain this game in terms of what KT can do. What they can do is deny a charge.
It's a big shockwave. They just ran over that ball. Keen has taken so much damage for seemingly no reason. We also did have a fight in mid as a kill went down onto Duckdom. Peter also died down there.
Bounty gold. Duckers.
There's no way he eat forward there.
Duckers.
Ducky. Oh, the predicts! That was crazy.
That was actually insane. Canyon angles this away from the husk of the turret so that the Herald can still sit here and hit. He's Herald maxing. Keen, I don't know.
How did Peter die?
Yeah.
What is he even?
I was just watching Keen. Hold on. Anyway, this is a Herald maxer.
He calls it. He's like, all right, I'm going to do a little wraparound because of the Bard ult.
Let's watch Bard. Shockwave. Oh.
Yeah, the hook is going to sail wide. Keen really trying to get the angle on his ult here. Let's see the turn. The Temper Fate just totally sailing wide onto Keen, and it was only Keen. Hook comes forward. That's onto the jungler. They're trying to take out Cuz.
Unsuccessful, though.
The damage is going to stop, though, on the... Oh, they're just going to go and chomp it and steal it away, as now Gen.G, they want to go for the follow-up fight here, because is seemingly incapable of dying, as now Chovy's going to go down. Ruler as well. And KT, a big fight here on the comeback.
Realmort for the chase, as BDD does not have flash, gets the heal. Equalizer miss.
Ooh. All right, they're really desperate to get more. They really want to cash in on this fight, but they're not going to be able to do quite as much as they would like.
And I think that was the winning play. Peter can do no wrong, man.
Absolutely.
He put the fear in them.
They're still hiding in the jungle. Canyon did not expect that, as he is burning down quite a bit, but he's actually going to get away, I believe. Peter pretty fast.
Cuz with the Hex Gate.
How far can he run? This is insane. Disengage cone, but the subjugate thankfully gonna take him down. As meanwhile, okay, Duro just gonna put an end to that noise.
Is scaring him.
Peter would do that.
This is kind of, one of those moments where, just like the Chovy pick on the top lane before, where Gen.G like I know you're hiding somewhere.
Ooh, very close to catching him against that wall with the pillar, but just barely enough room to slide by. But they haven't been able to set up on an objective and actually fight like that so far. So this will be their opportunity.
Playing around this Ryze side lane is so good. Here comes the engage from Gen.G.
All right, Equalizer comes down. Chovy's just incredibly low already, as now Keen has to flash away, but they just gave up the Hextech Soul, Cuz not even able to get in there. The Shockwave for the disengage. And they get out. Gen.G got away with murder there, essentially. As now the exhaust comes down on the Canyon, he is going to decoy away. As Gen.G, now they're the ones that can kite because they have Hextech Soul. He's level 18 at least. We'll see if that's enough, as Gen.G will slightly pull off of the Baron. Not going to take any damage from that, and looks like it might just come down to a flip, as Cuz is going to get in the pin, and he snipes it down! KT, an opportunity here.
BDD on the flank still.
Still on the flank. You saw that Gen.G wanted to go in on the turn, but King getting a little bit too low, and they're just going to have to give that Baron away.
They give
with the steal for themselves.
I mean, it's just lurking on the edge. Look at this.
And with the Hextech Soul,
Canyon on the flank.
I say that. Here comes Canyon. The Temper Fate already utilized, and now he can't use it on the defense. Peter is just dead. And the damage has been done. The Equalizer does basically nothing, only hits the clone. And the Elder is live.
All right, this is where we're going to have to see some fancy movement from Cuz. Still no flash back up. He's going to have to walk his way in again.
Oh, they have control of Banana Brush. They're just going to turn here. Perfect is dead. After the Zhonya's, of course, as down he will go. Duro takes that money to the bank.
Duckdom's poke starting to stack up here, but it's not alone enough. BDD is going to have to come for the flank.
He's just going to have to send it, I think. They can't lose the Elder, but now the turn coming in. But look at the damage. Duro is down.
It's
already. Chovy nearly going to go down low, but the Shockwave BDD had to just run at them, and they kited it out perfectly. As BDD goes down, they don't quite have the damage. Ruler is hunting. And, well, Cuz he's going to try to get out of here, but he gets Elder down instead. And Gen.G, they were walking a tightrope this entire game.
And they will win this game that felt like they won long ago. KT made it close. Cuz and BDD made it close, but it's not enough in the end.
That's definitely not, as Peter once again going to go down. Unfortunately, not the bar performance I was hoping for from this player. He'll have to go back to the practice room for that one, as Gen.G will take game number 1.
On the GD graph at the bottom, but still, BDD, he did almost no damage because he spent the entire time in sides, but he was ready to do damage in that last fight, and Chovy shut him down, and that was the end of the game. Whereas Udyr back in the day, or the Rakan here to follow up on so much single target pick. Like, if a shove hits, and then a charged Q from Keen hits, and then, or, it's the shove into Rakan, and then, boom, the Scion shows up. There's a lot of ways to lock down a single target. The tricky thing is that Yunara should never be in range for that to happen, and otherwise it's kind of like Ahri's super mobile, Jarvan, super mobile. Cassante, very difficult to kill if picked. Alistar has his ultimate. The Alistar pick doesn't do great in terms of dominating the lane, but it's into Rakan, it should be fine in the 2v2, and then if you get a few levels in, you can actually hold your own into this Corki. I feel that's going to be fine.
We'll see how it works as we hop on the Rift for game number 2. But at the same time, level 2 hit here as Duro is going to hit level 2 himself. They go in for the play, but barrier comes through as now Duro in a lot of trouble. He's going to flash the fat wall and does get away. And actually a lot of damage is done to Duckdom on the backside of this.
Sometimes you can just outplay. As Peter says no to this back.
We're just running into the bush. I mean, they will definitely say no and maybe say a little bit more. First blood given over to Yunara in the bottom lane. And a big wave denied away from Ruler as well.
I want that Rakan.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Ruler, or rather Peter, coming on in, as now should be a kill with the W comes through. As Peter sets up the kill here for BDD. Oh, the charm.
Charm is good. Follow-up. Pole gets the headbutt after. And it's a good shove from Chovy, but unfortunately he's not obviously able to hit the Ahri, so BDD follows him, gets the flash in, gets the kill.
Our spacers were talking about, speaking of which, and now actually trying to set up a play, and absolutely it'll work. It's a setup here to take down BDD.
Can't use a few minions. No way.
That's a fully, Chovy. He cut it short. Actually, a mistake from Chovy is going to lead to Duckdom surviving. Meanwhile, they're trying to fight here. Canyon has his ult up. They're going to get 3 grubs, and now the turn comes down on Peter. They're going to take him out, and Duckdom's just too low. Running on in, Keen says, I can take him. He doesn't have his flash. That's going to be a kill for the Scion, and now Cuz and BDD trying to make something happen here. They land the charm.
BDD.
That's a couple of kills their way. As Chovy kind of low on mana, you can see BDD threatening as well, just pushing him away. Cuz goes back in, and there's the charm to deny the Q, but still, the outplay from Keen as he flashes over, and now BDD's in trouble. Even low on mana, Chovy is doing the damage, but it's just going to be Keen styling all over them.
It's in suddenly. Chovy gets the snipe. Like, that's the biggest problem right there. Jarvan goes down, and Keen is, he's bomby cindering.
Kills him with the ult. He's very fed.
Show me the damage numbers.
Yeah. Chovy gonna have to flash here. It's the power of the Jarvan. Now going in, BDD looking for the angle, but that's just gonna be Spirit Rush down.
Some of that damage. Speaking of damage.
Yeah, Peter in a bunch of trouble. Gonna have to go with the Unbreakable Will, but he's still taking a bunch of damage. Duckdom's like, I don't know if I can even help you, buddy. Peter forced to flash away. As now Keen gonna be denied the ult out. It looks like he is done for as well.
Stop him would create a lot of, cost a lot of resources.
Okay.
Yeah, going in.
Really trying to set this one up. Nearly dies, and well, okay, yeah, he's just dead.
Area.
Oh no. All right, follow up here, Cuz in a bunch of trouble. Redemption comes down, and the Yunara is beginning to go crazy, but still able to push her away before she does any real damage. Meanwhile, we got ults down on the bottom side. Chovy makes his way in. As Duckdown makes his way over the wall. Gonna pull back the Scion now, but Keen incredibly tanky here in the front line. Duckdown not able to do enough, but finally they get the follow-up knock-up, and he will be able to do enough, and that is a shutdown as well. So they'll take down Keen.
Duckdown punched him. Looks like Genji are gonna double dragon just the same. Look for a turret here, which will not be feats of strength because Genji already got that.
Yeah. Decently big wave will be denied, but Rift Herald taken by Genji in response. They can use that for the mid lane probably. So it still feels like Genji enjoy this position, although with that turret take by Perfect, they are going to take the gold lead slightly.
As Air's going to drop the Herald, this is one way to get a lot of prio back for a charge here on the mid turret. And he should be fine. This is not the Showmaker full Magi Ahri.
Flash on it. Committing now, all out. Does come down from Perfect, but the TP flank from the Talia. The knockup does come in, but eventually you are just dead.
Yeah, this is a
baited in, I suppose, by Keen.
Canyon just shadows him here and he gets the turret.
Yeah.
So it's a big win. They get the kill, they get the turret. A lot of injection of money here.
I think Chovy's alone. He is not quite alone, as the ult is actually going to get the knockup and deny Chovy from taking all that much damage, as now the follow-up goes into BDD, going to force that Spirit Rush. And meanwhile, Genji are pushing them away on the top side here too. Duckdom trying to go in, but the quickness comes out. Keen making his way up, as now very nice knockup does come out from Peter. They're trying to take out this Yunara, or at least the front line that will block for her. And the big one gonna take down the Alistar. As Perfect uses his TP just to potentially die in this one. Has to get out as he is Cassante, but the fully charged Q comes through, and he does TP to his death, unfortunately, as Genji beginning to run the rift already.
There's just not enough. There's not enough without Perfect there to win that fight, which is why opting into it from Ruler and Duro made 100% sense.
Again, like I said before, she is like really the only threat as Chovy takes a bunch of damage, but does a bunch himself. Duro with the follow-up, and now Cubs just trying to peel, as is Perfect, but look at Duckdom, he's not able to do any damage in this fight at all, as finally they do move over, and they finally remove the Yunara from the game.
Took Ruler out in that scenario, he doesn't.
Uh-oh. Well, that's going to be the end of Peter there, as fifth death in this one.
Can do damage to this Baron over the wall at safety, as well as just deny KT entry. Same with Keen.
Keen's positioning there was so cool, actually. This wall is not going to deny Cuz, but a Q is, and, well, they have a bunch of CC to follow that one up. And now the turn comes in after the Baron is taken, and down will go Peter once again. The disengage cone comes through, but looks like maybe Perfect will still be punished. Or perhaps not, because he is Cassante. Flash forward from Canyon, though. They want a bit more, and they will get Cuz, at least, for the sins of the Blast Cone.
This Cataclysm buys some space here as they look to punish Keen.
All right, Charm comes through, and, well, you're not going to... Oh, they do get him at the very last moment, as Yunara is just insane, but Ruler is insaner.
One of the last few opportunities KT have, the Dragon was not taken yet.
Yeah, I guess they're just going to look for the fight instead. Perfect. Dashing on over. Genji certainly want to force this one. Canyon goes in. And, well, we get a nice little ult into the wall. A little celebration from Keen, perhaps.
Duckdom in a good position here.
Follow-up from Peter, looking pretty good, though. As now the Q does come in. Duro just going to try to frontline, but Duckdom still not accounted for. Perfect, going to carry Ruler over. Just, well, he's just going to go down.
He just wants to take his health bar away so Duckdom can kill him, but now it's even health, and I just don't think he can get it done. TP here by both soul laners to end.
Yeah, and I think they're just going to do it. The Ahri's just too low, and he knows where the Yunara is. The Q comes down. Duckdom will be denied, and it looks like he'll just leave the job to Chovy, as Keen just denies any back from the Ahri.
Peter's here, but he can't do damage.
Oh, this is beautiful stuff, as very much a lot of gold, but I love the way that they're ending this game, denying all the backs and denying any chance, any hope to the side of KT Rolster of denying this 2-0. As Cuz is here, but they're just letting the minions do it. They don't even want to hit the Nexus themselves. Down it will go, and in 30 minutes, Genji win game number 2.
This is the kind of game where if you vote 80 carry, but it's not enough. Perfect, like, sacrificed himself. He's like, if I can get Ruler to one.
That was about the end of it. Duckdom, most damage in the game, as they were down like 10,000 gold for a good 5 minutes. Didn't matter. That's just what Yunara does.
Let's see who ends up picking up Palm. I was heavily leaning towards Chovy early on. He may, in fact, get it. No, Keen.
Ooh, Keen.
Keen completely turning game 1 around. Even though he's 0-1 and 8 on the Aurora, had a great performance. The Sion was pretty good as well.